right, welcome to the Monday Night Men's Forum. I'm Matt, FarmHopLife. Tonight's episode is Social Break. First, we're going to talk about person events. It's been a while. Padre, go ahead.
We started the formal process of fostering and then adopting our niece and nephew this week.
Whoa. Is that planned? Unplanned?
I'll make a long story short. Little boy's dad broke his ribs when he was 6 months old. And, of course, they were taken in the foster care system, him and his sister. But they've been floating through the foster care system. And we were asked back in November if we would consider taking them. And we were like, yeah. And then come late December around Christmas, they were like, oh, they're going to stick them somewhere else. So it's like, okay. And then around February, they asked if we would still consider it. And we said, yeah. And then they're in North Carolina. We're in Mississippi. And then we were told because we were in Mississippi that we couldn't take them. And we were like, okay. And then 2 weeks ago, we got a call from the Department of Social Services in North Carolina. And the caseworker was like, well, the judge ordered them to begin processing y'all as foster parents, if y'all were still willing to accept them. So we were like, okay.
Whoa.
So they couldn't find a suitable foster home that was family, that was willing to take the children, except for us. And so the judge made the order to go ahead and allow North Carolina to work with Mississippi to get everything arranged.
I mean, this is going to take some time, right? Like a friend of mine adopted his wife's granddaughter, and it was like 12 to 18-month process, something like that. It took a long time.
It shouldn't take that long because the judge has ordered the case expedited. But we had to fill out the application. We have to wait for them to do a federal background check on us. Once that comes back, I've never even had a parking ticket. So, and my wife's, well, she's had a couple speeding tickets, but I'm the good one here. But, nothing felonious or anything. But,
nice.
Once that comes back, then we have to take a 10-hour class, pass the class to get our foster license. Once we get the foster license, it's good to go. So it's just a matter of waiting for the background check and taking the class.
Nice.
But we were told that could take up to 90 days.
Sure.
The background check takes the longest. So,
gotcha. Well, dude, that's exciting. More kids.
It is.
Aren't they like under 10 or something?
They're 1 and 2.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, I'm about to be 41 in 3 weeks. I'm going to be 41 and changing diapers.
Hey, it's either, your kids or grandkids, right? That you'll be changing diapers. So
that's true. It's kind of weird. I'll have a 1-year-old and I also have a 21-year-old.
both not biologically yours.
Right.
That's right. It's just, you made a sandwich, right? You adopted some older kids, adopted some younger kids, had one of your own in the middle, 2 of your own.
Yeah, the judge liked we're a Christian home. He liked that we were on a farm. We could give the kids a very different life than what they've had before.
Sure. That's awesome, dude. Congrats.
They're so young, they're not going to remember the life they had before. But
sure,
they'll definitely have the opportunity to come up in a better situation. Second big news is my son, well, we made the down payment for him. He bought a building, a 128 square foot, almost 2-story. It's like a story and a half tall building, and he's turning it into his tiny house. Nice. So we are still awaiting delivery of the building, but once that comes in, it's going to be a free for all. Me and my son, I'm going to do the wiring. He's a plumber, so he's going to plumb the building up and get the insulation put in. And he told me, he's like, Dad, I'm not even waiting on the drywall. He's like, once the installation's in, he goes, I'm going to hang a hammock in there. I'm like, like, you do what you want to do, son. I was like, that would inspire me to build faster if I was him. So
That's right. Does he follow Acorn Land Labs on YouTube? Do you know?
does he? I have no idea.
They're over in Georgia, and I think I posted this in the Telegram chat, the underground one that we're in.
Yeah.
They took, it was in 30 days, they took one of those sheds that you can just buy off the lot and turn it into an off-grid property for like $25,000 or something. It's pretty sweet. And then you said it's like a story and a half. Another lady I had interviewed, they cut the roof. It's like a half roof, right? It's like it's not very much space up in the loft. They cut the roof off, raise it up so they had a full, basically second story in their shed where they live.
Yeah, and we've talked about that. Once he gets land and moves the building to his land. So for now, he's just going to do a mattress on the floor of the loft, and that's his bed. Once he gets moved, we're going to raise the roof, and there's a free software you can use called SketchUp.
Yep, I use it a lot.
I've been using it for years. So I went on SketchUp, and that we designed the layout. He's going to have basically a not a full size bathroom. He's not going to have a sink in there, but he's going to have a pretty good sized bathtub, regular size shower, and all that. And
Nice.
then the way we have it laid out, his reading area, he calls it it's going to be his reading area, can easily become the hallway, and we can add on to the building from there.
Nice.
So it's just he's 21. It's a starter home. We're going to get him moving and get him in it. It's going to sit on my land till it's paid off and built. And then he's going to work on buying land that he wants to pay cash for. So the end goal of this is 3 years from now, he's self-sufficient because we're doing full water storage, solar power, all that.
Yeah.
And sitting on his own land with no debt. That's the end goal of all this.
That's a great goal. That's fantastic. You should be very proud.
I am very proud. His goal is 10 acres of land, and he wants to move me and his mom out onto his land too whenever he gets set up. And then we could build our own little. It was going to be a much smaller place, but now that we got a 1 and 2 year old coming, we can only go so much smaller.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Just one of the last jobs I was a part of when I was still an electrician, I called it Shed City. It was like this 5 or 10 acre piece of property, and like each family member had their own shed. There's 4 or 5 of them or something like that, and so each one had like their own little disconnect just outside the shed, and
he's got it. He's got it all planned out. He's like, I'm doing 10 acres. He said, I'm going to give you and mom an acre, and he wants to give his brother an acre and his sister an acre, and just have a big farm and garden, and it's basically the family farm. Like, he's got this whole plan set out.
Hell yeah.
This tiny house he's building won't be permanent. Once he's there, he wants to start building his own house, at which point, when the house is done, he'll move out, and he wants to pass the tiny house down. His brother's next in line, then his sister, and just move everybody that way, which the kid's got a huge heart. And it's very ambitious, and if he puts his mind to it, he'll do it.
Very nice. Cool. Thanks. All right, Grant. What's up? You're back.
I am back. I had a cow conversation.
A cow conversation. Tell us about the cow conversation.
So I took 11 goats to the sale this evening, and I didn't realize I took 11 and I still have 18. I did not realize I had 29 goats. So we were there. We were going to look and see if there was any goats worth missing some work for. And then Dad says, "Let's go look at the cows." So we walked down. Look, we saw this beautiful bull. He's the right height. He's extremely stocky. He's a red Angus. He would cross well with everything we have and everything we plan to get, because the end of the goal, end of the line, is eventually running Southpaw, which Red Angus is one of the breeds used to create the Southpaw breed. So it will just get us to the next official step. And he's like, he fell in love with it immediately. He pet it and he scratched his head, and then I went to pet him and he just started rubbing his head up and down on my hand. And so I'm like, he wants him. He's been wanting a bull for a long time, before I even bought cows. So I was like, are we going tomorrow or not? Are we going to get up? Are we going to miss a day of work? Are we going to miss half a day of work? What are we doing? But we didn't know. We don't know how much he weighs. And we kind of just figured out how to read the livestock charts for the beef. It's per 100 pounds. So it's $1.60 per 100 pounds, or 160 per 100 pounds. So it'd be about $1.60 a pound. So if he's an 1,800-pound bull, he's expensive. If he's 1,400 pounds, he's more affordable. If he don't sell good that day, and it's $1.40 a pound. So all these different variables, I'm like, look, we either go look at him, we don't got to buy him. It's 4 hours of work for you, 3 hours of work for me. We'll still get a full paycheck. We'll just sacrifice some time. It's 9 months gestation, 14th month grow out. You're looking at 25 months or whatever, because we won't breed them for another 2 months. So you already got 2 years before you can even turn anything off of him, and then you got like 3 more years before, and then you'll sell him. Well, not sell him, but we'd eat him. We take him, castrate him, and then ground beef him. And if you have 1,200 pounds of ground beef at $6 to $8 a pound, that paid for the bull 3 times.
Minus input, but yeah.
Minus input, and the input is really going to be fence and grass. And he'd be the first, but he might just end up as a pet. Who knows? I'm okay with that. He's the first bull of the family farm. If he's a pet, he's a pet. You know, so it ain't gonna hurt anything. But we can get 2 generations out of him. We can breed him back to the daughters, and then if the daughters are absolutely excellent physique, we keep them. If they're not, they get eaten. So it's just a matter of, do we start that 2-year timer now? Or do we start that 2-year timer in a year? Do we start that 2-year timer in 2 years? So it's,
What it come down to then? You still got to talk about it a little bit longer,
no,
or what?
We're most likely just going to go to the sale tomorrow. I'm gonna call them in the morning when they open, and I'm gonna ask, if the goat sale ends early, are you gonna go into the cattle sale, or are you gonna start at 10:30 when you say you are? Because I don't want us to take 4 hours off of work and we've already missed him. That would not be good.
Yep.
So, he's a very good bull, very good looking bull. I've sent pictures in all 3 telegrams. I say we go for it if he's in my price range. I'm extremely cheap on cows. I got a pregnant low line for $600. I got a Hereford Scottish Highland mix for $800. So I'm cheap on cows. I'm thrifty. I do a whole lot of livestock trading, and you buy a rundown cow, give it good grass and proper feed, it turns into a very beautiful animal. So am I going to go out and pay $2,300 for a cow? Absolutely not. I will eventually build my way to that instead of just. But the other thing is we've already seen him. He's a proven bull. We saw his calves at the sale. When we went and did the pre-walkthrough, there were 3 cow-calf pairs, all from the same herd. The lady, but she fed him bread. He's tame as a puppy. Like he just tame as a puppy. But he's got really good looking calves, and I'm thought, man, if Dad buys this bull, I'd liquidate my Bitcoin for the cow-calf pairs if they're selling for $1,500 a piece, which they most likely won't. They'll probably go to $2,400 a piece. But you can at least have a plan for if it doesn't. So, we either do it or not do it. We're still working on the chicken tractors. Turkeys are still, in the brooder. you got to start somewhere. That's pretty much all it comes down to.
That's
Just,
true.
uh,
Start somewhere.
just don't overwhelm yourself, Grant.
There are good days and there are bad days. The days that seem long and tired are the days where you spend $500 for feed, but that feed lasts you 6 to 8 weeks. You're making enough money to pay for the feed, you pay for your gas, pay for your insurance, and still have about 40% left over. It's not truly overwhelming there, just really good days and bad days when the devil's trying to get you down. And when you lose 3 kids from a goat you didn't know was pregnant, that's a day that's going to get you down.
I just mean that a farm is a business, and
It is a business,
growing
and
growing too big too fast can be a negative.
I probably experienced that. But do you juggle the fact of you growing too big too fast, or you're not growing at all? And
Oh, you're
I would
you've done in the year. You've done in the year more than I've done in 10.
I mean, true. Um, but somehow I make it work. It's still working. So, but eventually, like, we took some animals to the sale today that I didn't really want to. There's probably 4 more goats that I should have taken, but I'm going to give those nannies one more shot because one was too young. We don't even know how she got exposed to a buck. She had 2 white kids and a brown kid. 2 of them died. We're bottle feeding one. I mean, she had triplets at 9 months, and that's she wasn't supposed to kid. We didn't know she was pregnant at all. So it's just stuff like that to all the kickers. But yeah, that we have to look at everything from a business perspective. So if you take a $3,000 bull, you get $8,000 worth of ground beef out of him, and you cover his cost, you cover the expenses for all the other cows until you can. What?
Triplets can be tough.
Well, we had 2 sets of quadruplets this year. Those are tough.
For anybody listening who doesn't know, there's only 2 teats on a goat.
It depends. Dairy goats have 2. Meat goats have 4. So yeah, it's they bred the 4 teat out of the dairy goats for showing way back when. But yeah,
stupid.
meat goats can have 4. Sometimes only 2 or 3 of them work, but I've never had quadruplets before, and I had quadruplets from a goat. Again, I would say it's my fault. She was wormy, so when she had the kids, she was extremely pulled down. Like, she looked like she was death.
I'm glad I said that because I forgot some had 4. I only raised dairy goats.
Yeah. And I've only ever raised meat goats. So we're just now kind of getting into dairy breeds to use as a commercial herd to build better meat goats. Because again, when I'm getting goats, good nannies, good mamas are basically free because I buy 6, sell 4, and make $300, and I keep a goat. I'm having to get scrappy. I'm building the herd. I'm not building it. I've got dwarfs in there. And they're gonna have to get phased out because I've got a buck to breed them, not this October, but next October, who's 4 times their size. So I need heads at market. That's what I need. I'm not min and maxing weight gain yet. I need heads at market to pay for the next set of kids, the next set of goats, the next set of does, to get better kids at market and more kids at market. And that's just goat. We got the ducks and chickens at this point are a hobby. The meat goats, not meat goats, the meat birds and the chicken tractors were getting built. That's another thing. So if we're getting into meat production, well, do you start that 2-year again? Do you start that 2-year timer now, or do you start that 2-year timer in 2 years? So
start now. I don't think you can wait.
I don't think.
I don't think we have 2 years. Everything, and everything I do is because I don't think we have 2 years. You know, I wake up every day with the mindset of what can I hoard, because I don't believe we have 2 years. I don't believe it. But do we have $3,000 to spare right now? You know, if we got neighbors with bulls, we can give them, we can give them some food and they can lend us the bull. So, but I think things are only going to get more expensive, get even crazier. You know, you can't wait for the cattle market to crash to get you that really nice bull or that really nice herd, just as you can't wait for the housing market to crash to get you some land, because it's not going to crash. It's going to crash and the prices are going to go up. But yeah, it's stressful. But honestly, I was mowing Saturday. Dad was on the tractor bush hogging, and I was behind him on the mower mowing. And we were looking at that property. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. All of my troubles and worries went away while I was looking at this land, which the grass had grown above my shoulder again, and we're knocking it back down because we're going to start running fence. And I'm like, it's peace. It's just peace. Everywhere that's not peace is everywhere that's not at that farm. And we're not there that much. We're not there enough.
Sounds nice.
That's impressive. I'm 5'7" and you're taller than me, so.
Yeah, it's basically just goldenrod. It's not even grass.
I feel like a little kid again running through tall grass. Said I'd feel like a little kid again running through tall grass.
Yeah, you really do. But yeah, because I'm just looking at it from so many different angles. You've got your chicken production, your hog production, which I'm still questioning if I'm even going to do pigs. I don't like pigs. Pigs and me don't vibe. I can vibe with goats all day long, but when a pig gets out, my long rifle comes out. I ain't chasing down a damn pig.
I had a pig once 7 years ago. I'll never do pigs again.
Yeah, I got a pregnant one now. If she don't give me more than 4, if she'll give me more than 6, her and all her babies are gonna get eaten right then and right there. But you got the meat chickens, the meat goats. You know, you've got your beef cows. You've got your potential pork, your potential sheep. You've got the nursery crops. You got the vegetable production. You know, all this stuff that really ties into itself. That ties into the farm. And, you know, I'm going to quote Scott on this. All you have to do is make 10% of your income in each of those, or 10 to 2 man, whoever it is. So if I'm making 10% at landscaping, plants, chickens, cows, goats, I'm making 160% of my income. And all of those, like I've already made 10% on landscaping with one job. So it's just, where's all the time go? You know, where
that's something I'm trying to get more into.
Landscaping or time?
Well, increasing my revenue that I get on the side. So I'm not gonna speak too much about it yet because it's not ready, it's not finalized. But I tried making a product, and I'm like, I'm bad at this. This is hard, because I was just trying to. I saw a couple pictures. I'm like, I think I can make that. Reached out to somebody to try to help me make it, and I just didn't feel like going. It was going to take a long time, so I just reached out to the dude that made the original. I'm like, he's like, hey, if you I was asking questions, like I was going to place an order, and he's like, hey, if you here's my number. If you have any more questions, I'm like, oh, sweet. So I gave him a call. I was like, hey, would you sell that design, or would you rather collaborate? He's like, I'd rather collaborate. I'm like, sweet. So we got to chat, and we might strike some kind of deal where he does one product line and I do another product line. But I don't have to do any of the work. I just have to resell it. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So a couple of things. My parents were in town for about a week, and so I took I was gone for 10 days for work, and then I came home. And my parents are here. I knew that was planned. It's not like a surprise. And then I took the entire week off of work, and so it was just nice to be at home, just kind of get a couple things done, kind of relax. Went camping for my son's birthday, and it was just nice to just put the phone away. Don't worry about posting anything. Just take the time off. And it was like you don't really miss it after like 2 days. You're just like, yeah, it's actually not that important. Really not. And I've kind of continued that a little bit. Because I get a little bit bored at work, like, oh, I'm gonna post this or post that or whatever. But I've really toned it down on things that I share or just being on social media in general.
Which led us to tonight's topic.
That's right. So, when's the last time you guys, like, I know people would go dark for Lent or whatever, like they turn off social media for Lent. Padre, did you ever do that?
I have taken social media breaks. Last fall, I'd made a plan to get off of social media, and I'd started working towards that, and I shifted some things around. That's actually why my personal profile became my business profile, which is kind of turning back into my personal profile. So I can't keep my mouth shut on things.
Sure.
But it's also why the change to Old Paths Homestead happened and all that. But it's been a while, and what's so funny about tonight's topic is we're actually heading in the opposite direction. We're increasing our social media usage, and it's for content creation. It's for sales. It's all business related. It's not for personal usage. I would say for personal usage, I've kind of, if you go to my personal Twitter page, I post once every couple of weeks now. Everything else has become business.
I kind of forgot you even had a
topic today.
Grant.
Yes.
Social break, like take a break from social media.
Okay.
Were you listening?
I take breaks all the time.
Well, then there's not really a break, is it?
I just forget.
He doesn't often take breaks. He just forgets. Really forgets.
I would like to increase, like Padre had said, increase your social media presence. That's who you are. That's how you market yourself. That's how you make your money.
Yeah, in today's world, that's really it.
If you leverage it that way, yes. Or are you just shit posting?
I mean, if you shit post while you're at the toilet, like at work, I mean, who are you hurt? You know what I mean? It's
sure.
Is it something where you need to cut back on? Or are you obsessing over it once you get home? You really have to evaluate your actual usage. But if you're on social media, you need to be leveraging it to your benefit regardless. I leverage my personal Facebook account and with all my parents' friends when I plan to start selling things. I need to have an active Facebook presence so people think of, oh man, hey, this guy's growing flowers, this guy's growing meat, this guy's growing vegetables. So they know what I'm doing and I can supply it.
Yeah, Matt's talking personal usage.
I see. Okay.
Like my friend Kyle, we were talking the other day, and he was like, man, have you seen the stuff that's on the Twitter timelines now, the X timelines? I'm like, no. He goes, they're allowing a lot more pornography and stuff. And I was like, hey, I don't know.
They're not really allowing more pornography. They've always allowed really, really bad, things on there. It's not doing a good job at moderating at all.
Well, for for me and what I told him, and this might be what Matt's talking about, even though I'm on X daily, I can't tell you the last time I strolled through my timeline, just scrolled through it and
Yeah.
looked and read.
I got
get
a
on.
bad habit of that.
I do it every day, and I wish I did it more because I get to see what y'all are doing. Well, like, cause
That's why I like it. Yeah.
it's
got
also
y'all on the
social and personal.
I got
Like,
y'all on the list. I intentionally go to each one of y'all and see what y'all are doing versus just scrolling the timeline.
Yeah, I've been carefully creating my timeline, but I also don't see nothing anymore. And I've been unfollowing people. Like back when that guy shoved the fire, not the fire, but the gas nozzle up his rear end. Anybody that shared that like that or made a comment on that, I immediately blocked and unfollowed. I don't want to see that at all on my timeline.
I don't block them. I'll hide their profiles.
Nope. I don't want to. After that, I don't want to hear anything they have to say, think,
That's
or
fair.
nothing. I do not want to see an old man shove the nozzle of a gas hose up his ass while holding his penis. I just don't want
You're
to see
right.
that ever.
Nobody needs to see that. I actually have gotten. I'm more in line with Grant. I've gotten a lot more strict on like, you know what? That is it. Like even things like a dumb take. Like that is a stupid thing to say.
Yeah.
Like that is a terrible opinion. Like
If you don't have the same opinions as me, like 90% of the time, you're useless to me. So
the only.
I don't see stuff like that. And Twitter's got a great tool, the word filter thing, the banned words. My list
that is a good tool.
My list is huge. I just don't.
I wouldn't see anything if I didn't have muted words.
It's.
I really got heavy into Twitter and started using Twitter back with the riots. I loved tracking the riot footage, with people burning stuff down and getting in all kinds of hootenanny back in 2020. And I was just laughing at it because like I don't like either side, so it's just like y'all just have fun.
I just finally bit the bullet and went premium on my X account.
Yeah.
And one thing that I love on there, before it was premium, you had the For You page, and then you had the verified page, and then something else. Now I have a You Follow tab on my Twitter. So I haven't been on my For You timeline in forever. So if I do scroll, it's only the people that I follow that pops up on my timeline. So then I get to see more of you, Matt, and you, Grant, or Long Story Farms. I see a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I put on notifications for Long Story and Studra because I just love interacting with their stuff, and Scott too.
I have Shudra. It's amazing how many of y'all follow him.
Why?
But no, if you're going to use it, there's ways that you can make it easy. Not easier. Making that banned list was not easy work at all. But it's like the 2020 election. Like Biden, Trump, they're both on my list. Like I don't want to see the political.
Yeah, at that point, I'm almost with you.
And but I would say time wasting usage wise, I do have a little bit of a problem on TikTok. That I do like scrolling.
I stopped posting on TikTok because I started using it a lot more when I was posting.
Yeah.
Well, I finally got the algorithm trained where I mostly only see what I want to see.
My algorithm got completely trashed, and I just got tired of it.
Yeah, I like and comment on Matt's stuff often because I see his stuff often. And
I barely post. I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah, it pops up every time you post, man. It's like second or third one I scroll that I see, or the herb guy. There's a guy on there called the herb guy, but I'm ashamed to say it takes a lot of time on TikTok to train the algorithm to what you want to see.
That's true.
Yeah, okay, but this is like completely off like that a little bit, but these guys at work talking about training their algorithm, bro. They use TikTok for all the wrong purposes, and like if you understand what I'm getting at, um, yeah, if you train your algorithm wrong, you're going to see a lot of things that Twitter has going on now.
Yeah, I could believe that 100%. You know, I've blocked a lot of accounts on Twitter or TikTok, and that helps with your algorithm. But
I mute a lot of accounts because they just brings like a ton of unnecessary drama through like the timeline. Like, you know what? I actually don't care about whatever it is you talk about. And you seem to attract it a lot. So I actually don't even need to see anything that you're doing.
there's so many good accounts on TikTok. There's one guy I follow, the Arab guy. I love his channel. He walks around in the woods and shows you how to identify wild medicinal and edible plants and
Yeah,
the uses of them. And
that's good stuff. But I'm talking about sometimes like on X that just lots of just bullshit drama. It's like, this is stupid. I don't even know what the guys are talking about.
I don't mind the drama because I mean it's entertaining, but
It's not. This kind of drama is definitely not.
you know,
I see a lot of stuff where people say something to get a lot of interactions, but then they don't proceed to add any detail. Like, I don't need to know that you're going through something and you won't share any details about that something when it's something stupid.
Yep, there is that.
It's not like that I'm going through something, pray for me. It's the it's the something where it's like I'm having beef with my neighbor. I'll be gone for 2 weeks. I'm like, what are they going to do? Kidnap you?
I don't ever see stuff like that. I'm so glad I don't see stuff like that. Yeah, it's social media can be an entertainment platform. It can be a distraction. It can be an addiction, but it can also be a tool if you utilize it.
Yeah.
So it's. I've made great connections. You guys, I met all you on Twitter.
This is
I
how
don't
I do
even
this
know
podcast.
how Homestead Padre found me. I still don't.
Weren't you guys in the same Telegram chat? Isn't that how that happened?
No, he invited me to the Telegram chat from Twitter, and that's where I met Scott.
I randomly come across a post you had on totes, and you were making your raised beds with them, and
Okay.
and I DM'd you, and I was like, "Hey, this is awesome. Tell me more." And then that's when I learned you talked a lot. And but no, I loved your content. That's why I was like, "Hey, come on over to this chat group. Let's." I want you to.
I'm like 60% of the post.
And it was like, I want you to meet these other guys that I like to do. So yeah, you were a random post I come across on Twitter. But again, I've been on Twitter since 2018, and I've done a lot of work to mute words and hide profiles and block profiles and get the algorithm trained to what I want it to be.
Yeah, but like even in the Telegram, there's been stupid drama in the Telegram that kind of ruined the Telegram at one point.
Well, the Telegram's never recovered after, especially
it really hasn't. And I still don't even understand what happened. I kind of seem to miss the boat on that too.
I definitely don't know what happened.
But
there was a guy that was in there, and he had something negative to say about anything anybody posted. You ever see
that Brian dude?
I think so. I can't remember his name now. He was literally the meme actually, and always something negative. He really rubbed Agora the wrong way, but Agora is very much free speech. I'm not going to stifle your speech, so he just kind of shut up. And then he messaged me one day. He's like, "I can't do this anymore. I'm out." And he turned the Telegram over to me. And the first thing I did was kick the guy from the group. I kept telling him, kick him from the group. Like, he's not good for anybody. I realize everybody's got free speech, but he can go speak somewhere else.
Yes.
Yep. I remember that dude. So that's why the new Telegram chat, they're like not new, but like it's why it's just kind of like
It's dead. It's dead. It needs, in my opinion, if it was me, I'd give it a complete facelift and kick about 40 of those people out because they haven't even been on Telegram since 2 years ago.
I was wondering, I'm like, there's 60 people in this chat. I only see like the same 5.
I know. You've got the Canadians that moved to Mississippi. You've got the other Matt. You've got me and Padre and occasionally Cookie. And so it's
Yeah, and Longstory doesn't post anymore.
Longstory is doing too much. I mean, damn.
He's busy.
Long story, bro. I want to be right now.
I text with him occasionally, personally, and just check in on him. But that man's so busy.
I can get a response out of him pretty much whenever if I just tag him on Twitter. I was driving one day. I was like, "Let's talk turkeys." I'm driving down the road. We're talking back and forth about turkeys, and so yeah.
So that Telegram fell apart, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, and Scott's Telegram. I love Scott's Telegram, but it's pretty much just Scott's Telegram. He's in there posting his podcast, his stuff, and so yeah.
And I've invited people in, and they've come in, and then they don't talk.
Yeah, they don't talk, or I'll make like 5 spam posts and then they'll leave.
Yeah, it's hard if like people, feel like they've had they already have like a conversation going, and do I say something? Do I not say something? I don't know. People can be weird.
Yeah, it's like Kat. She lurked for the longest time before I finally told her, like, you got to talk to people if you want to learn stuff. Because she'd message me on Facebook, and she's like, "Hey, what about this, and this?" I'm like, "Oh, you need to ask Grant that." And she would never post. I'm like, "Get on the group and tag Grant and ask him, like, trees, Grant, you're up." She'll message him every tree question she's asked you. She has messaged me, and I'm like, "You need to talk to Grant."
Oh gosh,
I don't know anything about trees. I planted the orchard, and most of it's dead, so I can grow vegetables and fruit and animals all day long. But when it comes to trees, I grew a really nice mulberry tree. That's about all I've done.
We got huckleberries from that plant that I was hiding behind a couple episodes ago. They're like this big when they should be this big, but and they're crazy bitter. But it produced berries. It's first year we planted it, so that's cool.
My mulberry's been amazing. It was 5 foot tall 2 years ago. It's about 18 feet tall now.
Dang.
Yeah, dude, I love mulberries. We went. I got on top of the hood of my truck, and I was picking them off this tree we got at the farm. And those things are better than anything I've ever had. They're like blueberries. If blueberries were blackberries.
Yeah, they're so good. I took some to market about a month and a half ago when they were ripe on the tree. I couldn't keep them on the table.
Well, I mean, when you have a specialty crop like that, you probably need to be charging double, if not triple, like what you would pay for raspberries.
I was charging $8 a pint.
I'm
raspberry
charging $8 a pound.
No, $8 a pint.
I don't know how much a pint is.
8 ounces it was a 4-ounce container.
Okay.
And I post on Facebook every week what we're taking to market, and I'd have people messaging me, "Hey, can I just go ahead and Cash App you or Venmo you, and you save a pint for me?" So every week, I don't think mulberries ever made it to the market table. I think I had them all sold on Facebook before I ever made it to market.
I mean, that sounds like you need more mulberry trees.
And jack that price up.
That's what me and my wife talked about, replacing these trees that's in our orchard right now with mulberries.
Yeah, and I don't know if mulberries need mature fruit or like mature stems or fresh stems. But if they're like nut, you can also get a second crop of mulberries off of a tree. If you take all of the leaves off of the tree, you'll trick it into having a second crop of berries.
I've seen something about that, but Maybe in the future, but this one is anniversary gift from my wife, so I don't want to do anything weird like that. She'll freak out.
Haven't you guys been together like 30 years or something? I don't remember.
And my wife?
I'm kidding.
We'll be married 10 years in October.
Nice.
My daughter will be 10 in June, so at the end of this month. So y'all do the math.
A little bit before.
Yeah, she was born June 30th, and we married October 10th on actually my grandparents' anniversary. So we wanted to. My grandmother was dying, and it was almost like a tribute to her. We chose their anniversary date for our wedding.
Gotcha. So sounds like going forward, taper back on using social media for personal use. Really, I mean, I guess you get out what you put in, right? I mean, if you're just using it for just entertainment, then all it's going to be is just cheap entertainment for you. But if you leverage it for your business or sales or career growth, personal growth, whatever, then that's what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah, and that's why I can't block people. If you block them, it unfollows you. I need my content out to as many people as possible. But that's why I have a personal and a business, right? So I just crossed 7,200 followers on Twitter recently, so I'm not in a hurry to lose any of those.
I'm curious if your verification is going to do anything for you, because you were like saying even last year how your engagement has been really crappy lately.
My engagement is up 429%.
Just because of the dumb little blue check?
Since I got my check mark.
God damn, that's almost worth it.
I ran the analytics, is up 429%.
Wow. Nice.
I am up 700 some percent on the year. So
nice.
Gained 1,500 followers since January.
That's pretty good.
I'm reaching for that 10K mark.
Is that a big deal? I passed 1K this year. I don't remember.
You know, when I caught that crow.
Yeah.
I got 60 followers just from posting about that crow.
Yeah, it's crazy what you get followers from.
Right? Like it blew up, and I got 60 followers from the crow. I'm like, guys, I just caught a crow. You know, it ain't nothing special. But it flew away like as soon as we got home. It literally sat on my arm for 6 hours the entire ride home. As soon as I open the door and get out of the truck, it flies up to the tallest tree. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You just been tricking me.
Just want a free ride.
A free ride 30 miles away. Sure. Okay.
That's a lot of work for a crow.
I mean, it is, but he didn't even know where he was going. He's, 30 miles in a whole new area.
He's on the run from other crows.
Maybe that's what beat him up.
So, what kind of plans do you guys got going on? Excited for anything like that? Besides cows.
Well, I was gonna say I was excited for a cow until I got a call from Dad's saying like, "Well, we really don't need it." Blah 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 blah. What if it's this much? What if it blah blah blah? I don't want to waste the hours. I'm like, bro, live. So I may go anyway and see and I may buy it by myself because, like you said, it's either get $2,300 cow that'll last you 2 years, or you get an $800 cow that'll last you one, and it ain't gonna be a good one.
For me, I get to start seeding from my fall garden this week, actually in a couple days. Actually, it started last week. I got leeks planted. Now I got to get pumpkins planted, get ready for Halloween sales. I'm going to have a big pumpkin patch out here on the farm this year.
I gave
Big
up
old
gardening.
pumpkin patch. That sounds crazy to hear, Grant.
I don't garden vegetables anymore. I garden plants. I've got plants. I don't. I've been planting stuff in my garden beds that are non-edible plants. They're more pretty. I like to collect plants. So, they're very much I'm a botanical garden, I guess. I've got so yeah. When we get to the farm, I'm gonna have a couple 100 by 100 squares. 160 foot, grow tunnel for vegetables and all that. But right now, I'm just busy I got tomatoes, I got beans, I got sweet potatoes and okra, but that's about it.
Well, vegetables are a big part of my income. So
Yeah, I mean, I am not there to get enough vegetables to market them. I've got too much going on. Until I have more to market, until I can go to the market with chicken and vegetables and some plants, I can't cut out an entire Saturday to go do that.
you're trying to be three stalls in one.
Huh?
I said you're trying to be 3 stalls in one.
I'm trying to be the home market, and it's a slow build.
Just Homestead of Pain Market, Farmers Market, just
I just don't
one-stop
care.
shop.
I just don't care nothing about bread, candles, or soap. I don't care nothing about that.
That's funny.
We're a traditional market. One person does vegetables, one person does bread, one person does candles.
Yeah, I'll probably not be welcome at markets. So I'm just going to create my own. So
in Mississippi, if you're in meat, you don't have time for anything else. There's only 3 facilities the state will allow you to process at.
Yeah.
And sell, and then you got to have a refrigerated trailer and ice boxes and all kinds of stuff.
Well, we're not like going to do things, kosher. So we're not going to tell nobody.
It works until you get busted, and I've seen people get busted more than once. And those fines can get up to $15,000, $20,000.
Just gotta sell more meat.
Yeah, tell that to the Amish dude that got all his cattle confiscated or whatever. His freezers got taken and all that crap.
That's stupid.
I won't be on any more podcasts if they try to seize my cattle or touch my birds. If they push this bird flu thing how I think it's going, yeah, it's not gonna be good. They're not touching my chicken.
I gotta find this. I was going through some old photos. I found an old meme that I saved. This is going to turn out crappy, but maybe I'll post it later. All that I ever wanted to do was farm. It's just like some dude in a ghillie suit.
Yeah, right. I think that's funny.
Yeah, I'm getting my birds NPIP certified just so that when they do come through and cull everybody's flocks, they'll at least pay me for mine.
$1 a bird.
They're supposed to pay you the replacement value of the bird.
The replacement value is what they tell you it is, or they kill them anyway. I followed when they were culling those birds in those houses like a year or two ago really closely. They pretty much blackmailed all those farmers. They're either going to shut down their farm or cull all their birds, and they gave them a measly payout. So
the government's always going to make a payout.
If the government wants to come touch my ducks or my turkeys or my geese or my chickens, the government's going to have to bring more than the local sheriff's department.
I'm going to say, get your hands off my duck, and then like D, and then asterisk CK.
I post the Gadsden flag with the chicken standing on top of the rattlesnake. He says, "Don't touch my chickens or something or birds." Well, he ain't taking my birds. He ain't doing it.
All right, I got to make this happen now, just for you. I'm taking a pond course in August, going out to Oregon to go learn how to build ponds.
That's awesome.
I'm very excited. It's put on by Zach Weiss. He's a student of Sepp Holzer, but now he's like doing his own thing, and just
I don't even know who any of those people are.
very, very cool. Well, you got a lot of learning to do then, Grant.
I have an enormous amount of learning to do.
Yep, we all do. So hopefully I can do some learning and maybe do some get some side income that way, installing ponds for people. I was still thinking about buying an excavator and just put a pond in every yard. Every yard gets a pond. All right. What else you guys want to wrap up on?
I don't know.
That's all I got.
All right. Sounds good. Padre, go ahead.
All right, you can find me at Padre Homestead. My business profile is at Smith Homestead. It's spelt weird though. And then smith-homestead.com. Your coupon code is still active on there, just so you know.
Oh, nice. By the way, I gotta ask, why is it not? I'm guessing you can't change your name. Why is it not Old Paths Homestead on either the Twitter thing or the URL?
It is old.
Oh, you're cutting out. I can't hear.
I said it is Old Paths Homestead on Twitter.
Hold on a second. Now I gotta check this out. Now I feel
Yeah,
stupid.
I'm gonna cut out. Y'all be good. I'll talk to y'all on the Telegram.
All right. See you, Grant. Thanks. All right. Old Paths Homestead. It says at Smith. Oh crap! What the hell does that say?
That's Smith Homestead MS, but I think the O is missing from Homestead because they only allowed me so many letters.
So you couldn't do Old Paths?
No, it was taken.
Ah, damn.
By an account that hasn't posted in like 10 years.
I hate that. Yeah, this is what it said. This is what it is. Smith Homestead MS. Yeah. Son of a gun. All right. I forgive you. All right. All right. Well, so are you at a market this weekend?
Yeah, I'll be there Friday and Saturday.
Which market? Every market in the country?
McHenry Community Market in McHenry, Mississippi. It's our home market. It's where we got our start at. My wife actually manages it now. So
nice. Excellent. So you have the best booth available.
Absolutely. The best spot every week.
All right. And I am Matthew Rocher, FarmHopLife.com. We used to do interviews, still going to do interviews when I feel like it, because that's how I like to play a game now, is that family first, work second, podcast third. So thanks everybody for listening. Thanks Padre and Grant, even though he's gone, for hanging out tonight. So go out and go sweat. Go get some work done.
Yep. Bye.
All right. See you.